The latest class of veteran astronauts being honored at the Kennedy Space Center today. David Liesma, Sandy Magnus, and Chris Ferguson were inducted into the United States Astronaut Hall of Fame. Not only did these astronauts demonstrate outstanding accomplishments in furthering NASA's mission, they also helped give us, here on Earth, a closer look at space exploration. Dr. Jeffrey Hoffman is a former astronaut and a 2007 inductee to Astronaut Hall of Fame. He joins us now to discuss these astronauts and their incredible feat. What sets these astronauts apart to be selected? What have they done differently?
Well, I could talk about each one of them. Dave Liesma came in first. He was actually, I know him the best because he came into the astronaut corps 2 years after I did. And actually, at one point, he was assigned to fly with me. That would have been the very next flight after the Challenger disaster. Unfortunately, that flight was canceled like all the other flights, and we went off and we ended up in different flights. Dave eventually went into NASA management, and he was number one in his Navy test pilot school, brilliant guy, and contributed an awful lot to the astronaut corps and to NASA in general. So well deserved. Chris Ferguson and Sandy Magnus, they're a little bit younger. Both of them actually were on the very last flight of the space shuttle. Sandy was actually on a couple of space shuttle flights, and she also spent about 140 days up on the International Space Station. And after she retired from the astronaut corps, she was for several years the executive secretary of the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, and I used to see her newsletters every week or so. Now she's actually working with Virgin Galactic to try to make spaceflight accessible to a lot more people. And Chris Ferguson, he was actually the commander of that last shuttle mission that Sandy was on. Chris was a pilot par excellence. After he left the astronaut office, he went on to work for Boeing and helped develop the Boeing capsule, which had a test flight recently. So finally, they had a successful test flight. He was actually scheduled to be a pilot on that on the very first human flight of the Boeing capsule. Withdrew for personal reasons, but he still works for Boeing and is making great contributions. One of the things about the Astronaut Hall of Fame, it's not only what you accomplish as an astronaut, but what you've contributed afterwards to NASA and to the space program in general. And all three of these inductees have made incredible contributions, both as astronauts, as I mentioned, and also in the work that they've done since leaving the astronaut office. So well developed. Normally I would be at the Hall of Fame celebration. I had to withdraw this year, unfortunately, because of COVID. So I'm happy at least to be able to talk with them and all the great things that they've done.
Really remarkable people. Well, what is it like going to space? What are those moments? What do they feel like as you kick off? Are they life-changing?
Oh, man, the experience of sitting on top of 4.5 million pounds of high explosive and then feeling when the engines start up and everything is shaking and there's a lot of noise. And I have to say, you're sitting on top of all that power, just sort of hoping that the whole thing holds together. That part of it only lasts about 8.5 minutes. The real payoff is once the engines shut down and you, first of all, you feel yourself floating out of your seat and you're weightless, which is an absolutely extraordinary experience. And then to look out the window and see our beautiful planet down there from a totally different perspective than you've ever seen it before. You see the curvature of the Earth, the very thin blue line that's our atmosphere, so many beautiful things that you fly over. I was very privileged to be on 5 space shuttle missions. And of course, NASA doesn't send us up there just so we can have these incredible experiences. They expect us to do useful work. And I did plenty of that. I helped fix the Hubble Space Telescope back in 1993. And all of the three inductees that we've been talking about tonight have made very important contributions to NASA.
Dr. Hoffman,
in missions.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I have so many more questions, but we have to go. Thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure talking with you. Thanks for your interest in the Astronaut Hall of Fame.
Thank you. Well,
thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.